You know, like in Gilmore Girls, when Rory sleeps with Dean for the first time, and then in Sex and the City, when Carrie cheats on Aidan with Big, and both leading women seem to come out of it untouched. Well, I guess as young metropolitan women ourselves, we saw some of our personalities and our actions within these characters. But then we started to think, what damage could be done, could we be doing to our egos and our behaviours on our romantic front? Because these women have facilitated the notion that doing damaging things are okay, and that we will recover quickly and seamlessly.
I guess we're just trying to say that we find ourselves not only in grey areas, but we're actively creating grey areas for our love lives to exist. And despite the fact that we're intelligent, socially engaged, metropolitan young women who are aware of the contradictions handed to us in popular culture, we still love them and we still value their motives.
We are Jade, Annaw and Emily Simpson, the curators of You and I Like That Red Wall. It's a good idea in theory, but somehow it doesn't quite work. Showing on Is This It and with CBS Gallery Liverpool. The exhibition includes artists Stein Deja, Molly Soda, Lois Hopwood, Eden Mixon-Macker, Roxman Gatt, Hara Karina, Manuel Minch, and collaborative work by ourselves. And these are our curatorial notes.
What's the premise of the exhibition?
You and I Like That Red Wall is a good idea in theory, but somehow it doesn't quite work, is a quote from Sex and the City when Carrie finally, but not so finally, realises that even though on paper they're meant to be and their love is strong enough to be, they can't seem to make it work romantically. The exhibition revolves around ideas of self-written character failure, the fleeting and the permanency of social media, and how popular culture creates both saturated egos and a full sense of anxiety. And importantly, how all of these things trickle into our love lives and then into our social media feeds. How did the collaboration occur between the two of you?
Well, we met about 10 months ago at one of Jade's seminars, and from there onwards, on the back of 2 broken down relationships, we developed an ongoing dialogue surrounding heartbreak, romantic encounters and blunders, and the dialogue then developed into bringing together ideas and aesthetics rather than just personally driven chat. During this time we noticed that we both heavily indulged on programmes such as Sex and the City, Gilmore Girls and Girls, and from that we tended to both justify our own and each other's actions in comparison to the leading ladies in these series. So basically, if they ever did anything questionable, we felt that we could behave in a similar way and came out unscathed. So this inevitably made an impression on our collaborative practice.
I think it's important to note that the relationship between us has grown both formally and informally as time has gone on, meaning that our work and ideas that we share or collaborate stay current to whatever drama may be happening in our lives. It's a really sweet and personal relationship contrasted with a harsh working relationship that we find ourselves between.
Importantly, where have you chosen the artists that you have chosen for this exhibition?
So we feel like there's a lot of shows at the moment which aren't heavily curated but more put together in terms of names or popularity of artists or the people that they know. So we felt that it was important to go into this exhibition with a strong idea of the artists that we felt fully met our brief.
We chose artists on the basis of aesthetics, 2 feels, and the fact that 3 were all young metropolitan young women.
And we chose artists such as Molly Soda, Stein Deja and Eden Mixon-Macker on the basis that we'd followed their work for a long time, and we felt that their selected pieces spoke of romance or heartache in very different ways to each other. Molly's work directly relates to the way that we work collaboratively, taking conversations from the past and framing them in current times, recontextualising them and bringing prominence to past issues again in order to make new work. Stein Deja's work references romance and femininity in order to sell and capitalise or to guide you through a commercial space. And Eden's work, due to the high level of storytelling that's present on our social media, we felt that this work in particular spoke about an endless searching, longing or anticipating, which is more than ever amplified through social media and digital spaces.
Lois Hopwood we encountered first through 3030, and we got her to make a new piece of work for the exhibition in direct response to the theme of the show. We felt both as individuals and as a collaboration that both really related to her work because it touched on serious subjects executed with humour. Lois's work has that millennial aesthetic which we are always banging on about. The collaborative work between Hara Karina and Manuel Minch, who is the founder of Internet Moon Gallery, struck a different chord and focused on our interest in narcissism, inflated egos. The work of Hara Karina's selfies paired with Manuel's super glossy high-res environment made us think about how we and others perhaps gloss over our grey areas.
And finally, Roxman Gatt's work made us again feel totally different. with its direct, less romantic but more impulsive feel. We read through many of her text works and finally settled on Shearing Fast and Cool alongside a number of gifts. Her work feels to us like real romance rather than idealised or romanticised romance.
Creating all of these works made us as curators take a step back from the initial self-indulgent premise of the exhibition and place focus into showing a very raw, romantic, outspoken digital work.
Like putting feeling back into the digital space.